So, reminders from last session, and we have a couple of temporary and not so temporary schlorpies. So we're missing Yuhnbric at the moment, and I believe also Jomo, which means we are rejoined by Dio, but with hands this time. When you were schlorp last session, Nicholas, Dio was a horse.
With my face.
Yeah, with your face, I think. Instead of a nose, but it was still a regular horse otherwise.
Wait. My face was on his nose.
Well, instead of a nose, he had your face, yes.
Oh.
You sound weirdly into that.
Kink shame me, you fucker.
Damn it, young Nick.
Always. I don't know why I give you the opportunity.
Kink shame you with fucking Prometheus. Everything's continuing.
Oh, I just scrolled through my notes and saw my highlight things and remembered the whole wizard incident.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
So, for young Nicholas's benefit, unfortunately, due to a series of
young Nicholas knows I was possessed by his ghost.
Yeah, young Nicholasian incidents. You currently, several of you, or at least Team Nord, the Nordic half of the party, has a bounty on them in Whiterun to the tune of, I think, 650G was what we agreed.
Oh my god. You can't leave Nords alone, can you?
Good times.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, as they're actually the only ones who had any business left in Whiterun.
We're still going to do it, just with difficulty.
Exactly. The Khajiits had left town by the front gate after actually having a pretty successful meeting with the Jarl, where where you, in fact, posed as diplomats and were permanently added to the allow-in list for the Cloud District.
Does that include Doimbar, or...?
Yes, you were schlorped, so retroactively you still get the benefit. Because even though you were even though we had Dio the horse-face abomination at the time, like, the timeline adjusts itself, and you were just at the diplomatic meeting, and Dio the horse-faced abomination never existed.
Cool. Sounds pretty good.
Meanwhile, Team Nord went to prison for punching the court mage in the back of the head. and then attempting to... I hesitate to say resist arrest, but definitely confuse police, I guess, or the guards, and then escape from prison with the aid of a perfectly ordinary, nearly naked Nord. You have all met up on the outskirts, in the outskirts of town, some ways out of any nearby guard's sight. You are now outside of Whiterun, as I say, in the outskirts, in the out districts, I guess? In amongst the assorted farms and minor cottages and such. I've not got you on webcam, by the way, Nicholas.
Yes, no, I've misplaced my webcam today.
Are you moving it around a lot, or...?
It's anyone in the house, mum, dad, and brother either as well.
Oh, that's entirely fair. I was just curious. And I miss your face.
Aww.
And literally nothing else. I'm sorry, that was too mean.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Yes.
You're supposed to take it badly.
You had just met up in the outskirts of Whiterun, and I believe you had a lead on an Imperial encampment that you'd spotted to the south, which the Khajiit had spotted.
Yes.
Due to a long-ish diplomatic conversation. Party, what do? You've pretty much just bumped into each other and recapped the situation, so I think you're both aware of what has happened to the other half of the party.
Cool.
These things happen.
Meow.
Indeed, it's a cat.
Just like nose pointing towards the suspect encampment.
Meow.
What's up with him?
My
Maybe his
lord,
nose is itchy.
my lord, I was going to say my lord Doimbar then. My lord Zanzarim Zahir wishes to scout the Imperial encampment to the south, says Dio, on whose head Zanzarim sits.
Well, I'm not really partial to taking orders from cats. We do still have some unfinished business here.
We do need to get that there question of companions, and I got to pay my dues,
You will need gold for that, and your interview with the companions was today. You don't have to come back till tomorrow.
Oh,
right. I think they were like a day or so south, as I recall.
Well, why don't I go back, I'll pay my dues, then we'll ask the companions, then we'll go investigate this there encampment where they've got our bloody cart, at least we hope.
Do you actually have 650G on you?
No, we discussed this last week where I was going to trade stuffing in or accept, a job that would pay off my debt.
Oh, I see. Alright, cool.
Community service, Ben. That's what it's called. Community service.
Your task is to repave the Whiterun roads.
I'll get right on that.
You must grout the city.
God.
Yes, grout the city indeed. Writhing in the grout. Cool. So, how we doing? Where we going, guys?
I was going to go back into the city and pay my dues,
Okay.
as I said.
Steeling himself, Arnold turns towards the great gates of Whiterun, some ways up a hill which begins winding up a little ways from where you're currently stood, and marches off. Is anyone going with him?
I guess I'll go with him.
It's, does seem strange to go off back into the city you just escaped prison from.
Better than the cats!
There's no actual context for that, as I still don't think you understand his language, so that's just
It just sounds like
a casual parting shot.
Rawr!
Yes, that's correct. But oh well.
Okay. And Khajiit watch you go, mockingly. Look at these silly northerners paying for their crimes. Scrubs. Oh, wait, I can actually say this and have it be lore appropriate. Scribs.
Hey.
So, there are two guards at the gates of Whiterun. Through their helmets, it is impossible to tell if you've met them before, but they seem to squint at you, leaning forwards as you come closer. Ah, I recognise you, says one on the left. You're them criminals what escaped from Dragon's Reach.
Hey, we've come to pay the bounty on ourselves and, serve our sentence / pay off our debt to society.
You have trespassed against Skyrim and her people.
Yeah, we've heard this one before. I'm going to pay the fine, alright?
I have to read you the full thing, though.
Technically, it's his fault. I should have a lesser fine.
I mean, he's not wrong, to be fair. It was me who punched him.
I mean, alright, give me a persuasion over personality roll, please, Callum.
Oh boy, I can't wait for this to go wrong.
Can I assist him?
Yeah, alright, you are confessing guilt.
Alright. Woof.
It was with a +10 from Benji's thing.
Yeah, even so, that's a woof. That's 2 degrees of failure.
The guard shakes his head.
Use a luck point!
No.
You don't know nothing about that. No, you don't care about that. I'm afraid you'll have to pay the fine. I've only got one listed price for the two of you, and it comes out to 650 gold. Are we still using septims, even though it's the meads?
I feel like we were saying gold, but we meant whatever.
We'll say dragons. No. They've got a dragon on them either way. 650 gold dragons, please.
Well, I have much in cash on me, but I can give you this very nice mithril shield that's worth approximately 700 gold septims. Or whatever you're using. Dragons at the moment?
Septim and a dragon are the same coin.
Worth 700 gold dragons, if you'd be so inclined to collect.
Alright, and then let's just speedily check and see if that... do you know what page that's on?
Listed as what I spent on it. In fact, I spent 650 on it.
Well, exactly.
Wow, that's convenience.
It really is.
Extremely convenient. Well,
It's in my character sheet.
in the interest, well, no, I mean, it's not like you're going to lie about it. I trust you not to try and scam me on how much you spent on the shield. What was I going to say? Yeah, no. In the interest of expediency. Well, now let me have a look at that, as I actually am somewhat trained in blacksmithing. The guard next to him scoffs and makes a wanker gesture with his hand. The guard on the left takes the mithril shield from you and turns it over in his hands. Oh, this actually is quite nice, I'll tell you that. Alright. I'll have this taken in. You may consider your debt to society paid, but I wouldn't go approaching the court wizard anytime soon.
No, I was going to give him a wide berth for a bit, and he'll calm down. I presume he's still a bit cut up about the whole Helgen situation.
Have you heard about Helgen, by the way?
The guard sort of scratches at his helmet. I can't say that I have, actually. I've never much cared for the place. I'm afraid I grew up there, but I don't speak to much of my family anymore.
Oh, surprising. I keep hearing it's a lovely place.
Well, no, it is, but, sometimes you just have to move on, don't you?
Yeah. I wish other people would take that attitude.
We'd really bloody help us out, wouldn't it?
You got any family still in Helgen?
Sort of looks confusedly between the two of you. I don't think we're quite close enough to have this discussion, I'm afraid, recent criminals.
Alright, well, best be on our way then.
Please circulate the news that we have in fact paid our debt to society.
Alright, travel safe, and don't worry, the most efficient communication network that Skyrim has is the Intra-Guards Fines and Crimes Unit.
I'm just going to stand there waiting to see if there's some kind of tiny man who runs out. And is there some kind of tiny runner that lives in a box? Or
I'm afraid
you just shout?
That is a guard trade secret.
Aim. Right, well, cheers anyway.
He clutches a box very tightly to his waist. But yeah, no, the guard heads inside Whiterun, leaving his friend or comrade at least, to guard the gates to the city alone. Khajiit, you've just seen the Nords give away an extremely shiny and presumably valuable shield, and they're now sort of heading back down towards you. What do?
Yeah. Sit there licking my paw. Looking a bit impatient about this whole affair.
My lord, shall we move on or wait for them?
Yeah. I point towards the encampment.
Very well. Let's start moving towards the encampment. I'm assuming Dio follows.
Well, I mean, Dio turns to look at you and... My lord, I am afraid that Lord Zanzarim is on my head, and I cannot actually see which way he pointed. Where should I walk?
I'll just jump onto Cat Clock's back.
Dio hangs his head in shame. I have failed you. I will
Shake
go
my
into
head.
exile immediately.
No. You're needed for being top.
Dio begins trudging off down the path, despondent, away from the two of you.
Meow at him. Signal for him to get on the cat horse.
He rushes back. Yes, my lord. Of course, my lord. I guess gingerly steps atop the cat horse.
Mm-hmm. I'll carry them both towards the encampment.
Okay, two Nords. It takes you a little while to catch up with Catclop and his...
Into the Cloud District to get our quest and then go into the encampment.
Oh, were you? Sorry?
Oh, you weren't even turning around yet. I'll see you later then.
I thought, Callum, sorry, will we not go into the companions? Or
Oh yeah, we're going to go to the companions.
That's tomorrow, though.
you said it was today.
You said it was
No.
today, yeah.
No, I said it was tomorrow. I said it's still today.
Oh, right.
Oh, alright. Well, we both heard
You
you
were
wrong.
only in the palace for like a couple of hours, including prison and escape.
Right, well, I guess we'll go to the encampment then. Or
Right.
back to the inn, I suppose.
Right, let's go
Leave
find
it up.
that bloody cart. Right.
Should take us 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, at least it's a good object lesson in reinforcing what Bjorn taught you. Never punch a wizard in the head if you can't pay the fine. It's a well-known saying here in Skyrim, you know.
Always punch him in the back of the head.
One of the 32 sermons of Bjorn.
Yeah.
It's the teachings
Wasn't
of
he
Talos.
one of your mates?
Well, you know, in our line of work, you got to work with some different characters.
If that constitutes working, I don't want to work.
Your work pretty much entirely revolves around punching Draugr that are trying to murder me.
Yeah, punching Draugr. They can't
Right.
summon the guards.
No. Well, depends what guards you're talking about.
And so the bickering goes for quite some time. Cats, you are acutely aware of the Nords catching up on you from behind, as Catclop's not going too fast. Ollie might be a little... We're just going to assume that Yuhnbric might not turn up this session. Ollie is at someone's birthday drinks, and if I know Ollie...
It's getting later and later.
Yeah, no, he's probably going to be there.
Yeah. To be clocked.
It's fine. Yes, no. So, the Nords take not too long to catch up with the cats, and you exit from Whiterun's outskirts and begin trekking across the tundra. The way isn't particularly long, maybe a day or so's travel, nor is it particularly arduous, although there are numerous dangerous species living out on Whiterun's taiga. Taiga?
Tiger,
Tiger.
I think.
Both
This
sound-
is one of those words that you've always heard but never actually heard out loud.
Exactly.
Outside Whiterun.
Like, Birmingham.
Yes.
The worst planet in the galaxy.
Yes. Oh dear. Yes, so numerous dangerous species stalk the... we'll go with tundra for now then, just for the interest of my brain. Stalk the tundra around Whiterun, but this close to the city they don't tend to venture, this close to the city rather, and further on from that, the ways is pretty clear. You can see anything like giants, saber-tooths, etc. coming from quite a ways off. It's generally not particularly concerning. What is a little bit more troubling is that you are approaching a scouting encampment. And as mentioned, there's a clear vista for quite a ways all around. There's a decent chance they're going to see you coming.
I see two ways we can approach this. We can either adopt the confident approach, or we can try sneaking around with some twigs stuck to our heads. It's the old ways, you see.
How
What if
far
we-
out from the encampment are we? at the moment?
You've just about left the outskirts of Whiterun. So, still most of the day.
What if we split up? Let the cats go in first, and we'll stay back with twigs on our heads.
My lord, I could cause a distraction, and then that would allow you to slip in.
Yeah. Sounds fun to me.
How have we reached a stage where the fucking house cat is in command of the majority of the party?
Because he is Zanzarimza here.
The great and wonderful.
Exactly.
Dio pipes up to translate. My lord Dowimbar has offered to act as a distraction, presumably posing as one of the local saber-teeth, and confuse the Imperials long enough for the rest of you to sneak close.
Right, well, let's go find some twigs then.
Alright, yeah, I'll take... God, do we have survival? Why do I never remember the fucking systems in
I believe we do.
any system?
Survival is a thing. Int or perception.
Cool. I'll take survival over perception from one of you to do the disguises. You've got
Oh,
plenty to
that's
work
one I
with.
actually have.
Plus 20. You've got plenty of space to work
Can I give him an assist, or...
with. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I'm an
Huzzah.
apprentice, so what am I rolling then?
That's a net
What am I bonus?
plus 30. I don't know if is apprentice a plus 10.
Yes,
What
plus
is it?
10 for apprentice.
I thought it was on the right page. So it was not.
'Cause he goes,
Apprentice is plus 10, yeah.
Cool. So I think that's actually a net plus 40 then between difficulty mod, the assist, and your own skill.
Excellent. Hey! 3 degrees of success.
3 degrees of success. Yeah, no, it actually doesn't take you that long to assemble some pretty reasonable Taiga camouflage. This is totally what you are paid to do. Furthermore, you're still close enough to Whiterun that there's plenty of broken sticks, trees, assorted rubbish that you can smear. The house cat doesn't really need camouflage, so that just leaves yourself, Dio, and Yuhnbric. Do you want to give us a brief rundown, Callum? 3 degrees of success. You can come up with a reasonable camouflage for everyone except for presumably the house cat.
I like the idea of just a tiny ghillie suit. I mean, let's go with sort of Arnulf caked in mud. Just get in some rudimentary camo paint going. I guess I'll sort of ruffle my fur up and try and look more like a bush. And Yuhnbric, he's just going to be twigs sticking out everywhere.
Yuhnbric is currently Schlort, so he doesn't exist.
You did mention
never existed, so it's fine.
Fine. You did mention Yuhnbric, though.
No, sorry, did I? I meant to say Dio.
Dio, yes. Dio, I kind of just slather him in filth because I hate him.
Everyone else gets mud. Dio gets cow shit.
He gets cow shit. We get mud. We're also covered in twigs. I like to imagine this with just twigs and like birds' nests sticking out on top of our heads.
You got 3 DOS, so I'll give you 3 small birds' nests.
Yes. Mud, shit, nests.
Dio, as you're doing it. Brother, is there really reason to slather me in all of this cow shit? Some of this is excessively fresh.
Don't call me brother.
But you are...
He ain't your brother, he's my nephew, you twat.
Stop struggling.
As you force cow shit down his mouth. Massive overreaction.
Ain't an overreaction.
Okay. So that means the 3 of you are stalking closer. It'll still take you about a day, but with a little bit of lateral thinking, bit of a lateral route, you should be able to get there by maybe mid-dusk. Dowenbar. Your plan, it seems to be to range ahead of the party and distract the Imperials at the encampment so that they fail to notice the rest of your group sneaking up. What are you thinking here? How are you doing this?
Do you, stealth around it and go, the opposite direction they'll be coming in from? And, maybe take, in a way that I can see where they're going to be coming from, or something, or whatever.
I think direction's less important than what you're doing with the camp, because they are Imperial scouts. You are a large wild creature. There's a decent chance you're going to get shot at. You need distracting can work. How do you intend to survive the potentially fatal distraction you're going to provoke?
I like to basically scout out the ground around and find an escape route that can camouflage me almost, so I can duck behind a rock here, there, a mound, and basically stealth away once I need to. But
unfortunately, the terrain of Whiterun is actually pretty open as a whole. It's not to say that there aren't large rocks, but you can mostly see for miles and miles in most directions, with the exception of sort of rolling hills and things. It's not broken up enough to be able to zigzag between this rock and that small copse.
I forgot that we weren't in a forest. For escape,
less escape and more the actual distraction, mate. What are you doing to distract the scouts at the Imperial encampment without getting killed in the process?
Can I start making noises around the outside, and then maybe a bit of a roar?
Okay, so you want to creep close, try and stay stealthed and then just keep them on their toes, making noises without being seen or like running away when they start to fire at you type of thing.
Yeah. Keep their attention like on one side of the camp.
Yeah, that's
away
fair.
from the others, basically. Just by like, because I'm pretty good at like staying undetected, but if I can like strategically make noises here and there, and then like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, fair. Okay, I'll take stealth over agility at a. It's fairly open terrain, so I'm going to give you a -10.
Okay. Does my invisible trait help? It's for things to track me.
In what context? Where do you get it from? What's it do?
It is a trait. I bought it end of not last session, session before. Survival test made to track the character suffer a -20 penalty.
Oh, cool. Yeah, these aren't survival tests. These would be perception.
Okay.
But valid ask.
Fair enough. Anything else I can use? Nope. Okay, cool. Is that a -20, was it?
-10.
-10. Stuff is journeyman, so that's net +10. Cool, okay. Nick completely forgets what his stats are.
It's okay. I forget most of the rulebook, if I'm honest. So
cool. That's one degree success. I'll spend a luck point to increase it by 1 degree.
2 DOS.
So 2 DOS.
Okay. So yeah, Dowim, you bound ahead of the party, confident that you'll be mistaken for just yet another saber-toothed tiger at a distance. Maybe one that's getting a little bit too close, but it's not like they don't bound across the steppe when they're hunting. As you get closer, however, you start to make a little mental map of where the major rises and bluffs are. Little areas of rolling terrain, small valleys, minor hills, that type of thing. Just things that you can bring most of your body behind, at least at a distance. And after just a few hours of running around and roaring, you get running closer. You get close enough to start roaring strategically. You move from bluff to bluff, giving it a little while between each, but trying to make sure that the roars start to get a little bit closer, a little bit louder, a little bit angrier, a little bit more feral each time. You can't tell exactly what effect you're having on the camp, but you do know that you've got their attention. You know this because more than a couple of arrows, maybe 5, 6, wing your way, though most of them fly far too wide. Only one comes too close to you, and that's just as you're getting particularly near the encampment, with dusk falling, very much aware that the rest of your group must have reached the place by now. Rest of the party. You have just about reached the suspect encampment.
I'm just going to run off and start jumping about on the roofs, looking around.
There are no buildings, actually. As you rush in, you can see that there's perhaps 3 Imperials, all wearing the uniform of Legion Scouts. One, a minor officer of some kind, or so you assume. They certainly seem to be wearing more and shinier metal than the other 2.
Is there anything vaguely high up? A tent?
So there are 3 tents and sort of some assorted minor camping gear scattered around the place. And the whole thing is built atop a small mound with a stone ring around it.
How big's the whole place? Could I, do a lap pretty quick?
Yeah, it's maybe 20, 30 meters. It's big, but not super big.
There's obviously no cart in here.
No, there is no cart. There are, like I say, just the 3 Imperials, all of whom seem to be at the western edge of the encampment. You approach from the east. 2 are kneeling down with bows in hand, and 1 who turns to look at you and then turns away immediately when they see that you're just a cat. Evidently a little bit curious, but they've got more on their mind. 1 has a seeing eye stone, and they're scanning nearby areas for presumably the source of the roars that you recognize as Dowin Bar's familiar I'll fuck you up, fam shouts.
Oh.
Rest of the party, what do? Which in fact is Team Nord at this point. Team Nord and Dio, I guess.
I guess we'll accept him.
As he stands 3 distinct meters away, covered in shit.
Right, well, we're all ghillied up. It's time to go hunting, boys.
Should we try circling and finding a gap in the, I don't know, fence?
There is no fence that you can see. You can just about make out the top of the tents from your position at the base of the mound.
Alright. Prone and crawl.
This is one of the shittiest defensive lines I've ever seen.
Yeah, a prone crawl actually gets you all the way up there. You've got a pretty good distraction going on for the other side. You can hear what's probably Yuhnbric, either that or a very oddly deep-voiced Sabretooth.
I was just like, in that case, can I signal to Dio to stay where the fuck he is? We don't need him coming up. We don't need to risk him getting upwind of them and then smelling him covered in shit.
Dio nods and sits himself down on the ground, content to wait until his master or someone equally important calls for him.
Remember, no Cyrodiilic.
Don't the two of you only speak Cyrodiilic?
Oh, Nedic.
Oh, Nedic. Wait, is Nedic separate?
Nordic. Nedic is like a dead language.
Oh. I defer to Calamon.
Oh yeah, no, he's right. Nedic is a different thing. The Needs and the Nords.
The Needs are long gone.
Right,
yes,
well...
Cyrodiilic is indeed a separate language to Nordic. I guess all the Nords are just bilingual as fuck. I suppose everyone is, really. Cool, yeah, no, you crawl your way up the mound on your bellies. They are sufficiently distracted. You reach the lip of the little sort of stone ring and can see basically the same scene that NAZEEM saw. The 3 of them all arrayed along the western side of the mound. Their little camp in the middle. Yeah.
Can we see the cart?
There is no cart that you can see.
Meaning, we need to go tent shopping.
You think it's going to be hidden in a tent?
Well, where else is it?
Not here?
One of the Imperials looses a bow shot and then swears under their breath. You hear no scream of pain from from Yuhnbric, indicating that it either killed him instantly or missed him utterly.
Right.
They need better aim.
Are we going to do, out of character, are we going to do this silently, or are we going to do this loud?
Silently.
Oh, good. Okay.
Do silent as long as you can, and we need to go loud.
Okay.
But
That's
I think we need to question these dudes.
What if we split up and try different tents?
Well, I thought we were just going to, disable the 3 first and then deal with the tents.
Oh, I mean, I guess we could do this as well.
Can I do a quick scout and pop my head in the tents? Just wander around.
Yeah, I mean, that could work.
As you trot along the encampment, with all of the noise
The
getting
here
made by the
announces
other
that
two.
there is nothing in the tent.
Can you imagine? Yeah, let's have a look. What would that be? I guess observe is a thing, isn't it? Yeah, so I guess observe over perception, please. At a +0.
So, that'll be a -10 for me. What's it? Perception. So I need 27 for lucky numbers. Or
Oh, no.
lucky number, though.
The day someone gets a lucky number, I swear to God.
Statistically, you'd think we'd have had one by now.
I've got 3 of them. 4 unluckies.
Wait, how many unluckies?
4.
How do you have 4 unluckies?
Super cursed by the stars or something.
Oh, God.
Oh, you
Yeah,
seven?
It's a whole thing.
Oh, no,
No, I'm just like twice over star cursed.
Whee. Oh, dear. Yeah, no, you sort of duck your head into the tents, but they seem to be almost uncharacteristically messy. You would need to actually pour through them, and there's not really the time for that.
But no signs of life?
No one in the tents. That's actually pretty clear. They're almost lean-to style, so it's not super obvious, but not complete. Not super obvious, but also not super hard to determine.
Alright. I'll just trot back next to the Nords, sit in front of them.
I don't know whether it's too late to mention, but I've just realised 44 is my unlucky number.
God, what do unlucky numbers actually do?
Fail.
It's like 100, I guess.
What?
It's literally
Okay,
the same thing.
Let's double check it.
Yeah, to be fair, I've not looked at the rules. I just assumed unluckies are like a hundos and luckies are like ones.
Yeah, no, actually, I hate to say it, but young Nicholas is entirely and in every way correct. An unlucky number is an automatic crit failure.
Would he not be eligible to roll a luck to re-roll it?
And the character loses a luck point for that session.
Oh, accidentally covered myself in bees.
Actually, rewatched that the other day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, usually yes, but in the interest of expediency, and also because we've had like a couple of rolls since, I'm going to say no. So
Yes, my apologies.
Dio just really
That's
fucking
alright.
stinks.
We're all new to
It's
the
just,
system.
it's not gonna come off for a week.
And that's before we put the shit on.
Yeah, no. So you've actually stealthed up very sufficiently when you hear the sound of running from behind. It is in fact Dio, being chased by another unrelated Sabretooth. He screams. The Imperials turn around, eye you widely, arrows notched, and then the other Sabretooth comes bounding over the side. The officer screams, "It's a hunting pair!" What do, folks?
Useless idiots. Right, I'm gonna use the voice.
Oh no.
This cannot fail.
I'm just going to get out of the way.
I'm gonna get up and immediately dive back down to the side.
Yes, I was gonna buy the rest of the points for Fuss Radar before the session, but
You have to rely on Fuss.
Yeah, I don't think... I thought you were only having the one word.
A leaf trembles.
yeah,
I believe was the agreement.
yeah, no, that was the rest of the sentence. Was I was going to, and then
Yeah, but the rest of the sentence is two more words.
yes, I would like to use Foos.
You can use Foos. You can use Foos all you like.
Huzzah! Right, okay, so I have to spend a stamina point and roll my Storm Voice trait, which I think is a Journeyman? Where did I put it? Points spent on Thume Journeyman. Right, okay, so I roll power plus...
Who are you shouting at?
The guards.
Cool. Yeah,
I feel like
what's the
you
range?
think Booth is a lot more powerful than it is.
I hate to say it, but I do agree with Callum, but you can do
No,
it.
okay, so I shout with Great Force, I stun all targets within a 15-degree cone up to 25 meters in front of me.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
No,
Yeah, sure,
Foos is actually really strong. Like,
Wow.
it isn't... Fuss Rodar does that plus a whole bunch of damage that ignores armor because fuck you.
Jesus, alright.
I guess to be fair, they probably tamp it down for the games. But yeah, no, the range is much greater than I expected it to be.
Aiming for 62 or under. That is a pass! Only 1 degree.
Cool. What are the exact effects here?
So, I shout with Great Force, anything that is anything that's in the 15-degree cone up to 25 meters away, I'm aiming at the guards, so presumably they'd all be in the cone.
Mm-hmm.
Are stunned for one. They're knocked flat and are stunned for 1 round. It counts as a ranged area of effect attack for the purposes of evasion.
Well, I'm going to say they're probably taken by surprise, so I don't think they get a chance to dodge.
Right. I've got this, Revere. Now, let me just remember the exact accent.
It's
I
your
remember.
accent!
No, right, it's not my accent. Foos!
I have such intense regrets about letting you set the accents. These languages.
The Dragonborn is canonically Welsh. Deal with it.
There are no Dragonborns. Dragonborns are extinct and have been for 200 years.
The Dragonborns, when they existed, were canonically Welsh. Tiber Septim walked around with a broad Valleys accent.
God damn it. Scree. You're making me knock over bottles now. Oh, yeah, no, you with a cry of foos in a strong Dover accent, which I guess is Welsh, project unrelenting force. The guards on the opposite side of the mound are knocked flat. One of them cracks their head against the stone, and the legionnaires on the other side, are knocked flat, and the other is immediately leapt on by a charging Sabretooth, which has only narrowly missed jumping over Dio and finds itself positioned on top of one of the scouts. Shrieking in delight, the Sabretooth bites the guard in the head. God, got me doing it. Bites the legionnaire in the head, and there's a sickening crunch. What do I guess Revere, really. You've thrown yourself flat, and Arnulf is shouting.
Well, I mean, I guess if people have been knocked, I guess I'll jump back up again and try my luck with a tent.
Oh, you're not going to help disable these guys?
Well, you seem to have the situation covered.
But we wanted them alive! I've disabled them for now. We need to deal with the rampaging Sabretooth.
Oh, well, I mean, they're disabled for now, but fine, I guess I'll deal with the Sabretooth. I get out my knives.
Let me just look up the Sabretooth profile. He says, really hoping it's actually been written in the Scroll of Beasts. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Maybe if I search Saber. Damn it. Okay. Bear profile it is.
Isn't it a mountain cat or a mountain lion? It's not a saber.
No, they're saber-toothed cats. But they're not under mountain cat or mountain lion anyway. I went back to the contents to check that. Unless they're under game animals, which I don't think so.
Quick aside, I've just been reading the actual spell rules that are in the back of the book, and everything had times SL in it, which I was reading as a success level for ages, and then I read up at spell level.
Yeah.
Let you know, that
that's fair. I think it's going to be very amply clear that even by the end of this campaign, none of us will actually know how any of this stuff works.
Just like Dark Heresy.
The only person who reads the rules is Ollie, and he's getting drunk.
Read my spell rules.
Yeah, you did now. Session number 6, I think.
Didn't even know they existed.
Well, to be fair, it took us until session 4 to find the spell quick reference. So, Revere, what are we doing then? You've agreed to help save the scouts from certain sabery death.
This is very true. Okay, well, yeah, I'm going to try and throw a knife at it.
Okay, what is that? I guess I should not just assume, because we don't have ballistic skill in this setting. How do ranged attacks work? Special ranged combat, here we go. Okay, combat styles. I mean, we'll say your regular range, so it's like, I think it's just a +0. Then it seems to be just off of strength, I guess? Same as usual?
Yeah, I guess. I do have an apprentice throwing weapon style, so +10.
Cool. Alright. You're throwing at a large cat, but you are trying not to hit the people around it. What do? Oh, well, what do? Roll, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is 34 one of your unlucky numbers?
No, it is not. I checked. But that is 2 degrees of success.
Cool. Roll your damage, whatever it may be.
How the fuck do I roll damage again? I forget.
I have no idea.
It should be... What weapon are you using? It should be on the weapons table.
It is I actually copied it from the weapons table. Steel dagger. Slashing, exploit, weakness, thrown...
Should have damage dice on there.
Let me take another look. This is the type of thing that you check beforehand.
Tut tut. He says.
I know. 1d4.
Okay. Roll away. 3. Yeah, no, your knife sticks right in the rear haunch. I suppose that is the rear. The haunch of the saber-tooth. But it just keeps biting away. The screams and shouts of the Imperial Scout dying off immensely quickly as his skull collapses. Collapses? Explodes, I guess. You know what, fuck it. I think we probably need a turn order. So, could I get initiative from everyone, please?
Cool. What is that?
That's a very good question.
I've got in it racing, but I can't remember what.
Combat overview starts at 69.
Oh, if we've all got in it rating numbers, then surely that should do it.
Oh, cool.
That's true.
I've got 10.
I equally have 10.
Oh.
Oh, what?
I have 9.
Aha! Good, it's not everyone on 10.
Excellent.
Initiative roll is 1d6 plus character's initiative rating.
That makes more sense.
And then luck bonus.
1d6 plus luck bonus plus int rating.
Okay, 16 for me.
That order. Or is it in bonus? It's
17 for me.
That's right.
Curses.
Oh, 13. But for a wee quick.
Okay, let me just set up these tokens. Don't whimper. His name is Catclop. And then we have...
Also, Dio was there,
Oh god,
covered in shit.
Dio token. Oh, that one
Yes,
is
he
like-
throws shit at the cat.
Nice.
I'm not giving Dio a thing in an initiative roll. In fact, he's running around screaming.
And also covered in shit.
Yeah, he is also covered in shit, but which, if anything, is just enraging the cat. Here. Everyone happy with their daring doggos?
Daring doggos.
Yeah, you got doggo tokens. Bought the pack and I'm down.
Which one I liked?
Let's see.
Are you angry because they're not cats?
No.
I'm happy because they are the best.
I'd buy cats if the guy made them, but he's not made them yet.
Why don't you ask him to make some?
It's not like I know him. I just allow him to take advantage of my reckless mass spending on the Roll20 marketplace. Cool. Okay, so what are our initiatives? Zanzarim is 13. That feels very high. It looks very low. Dowimbar is 16. Revere is 17.
Bar's 90.
Dowimbar is
yeah.
19. Sorry. 9 6s. What are you going to say? They all look like the same question mark. Cool. So, top of the turn order then, I guess, is actually the esteemed, the one, the only Catclop.
Am I before Callum?
Yeah.
Numbers are really hard, and I think we've established now that I cannot read the number 16. It's like turning left. It's just difficult for me to do.
What if you passed your driving test if you can't turn left?
Oh, this is an interesting story, actually. So basically, the driving instructor wanted to go home early. Is the short version of that. So, yeah, no, I don't drive anymore. Cool, Catclop, what we doing?
I'm still hidden, aren't I?
You are indeed, but you can hear shouts and screams and the crunch of bone from behind the bluff, from the suspect encampment, the Imperial Legionnaire encampment.
So it's fair to say the stealth has gone to shit.
In some form, definitely. They could be getting eaten by trolls, for all you know.
I'm going to try to get a bit closer so I can see them and try to pick someone off who is, basically jump at them, bite, and then pull them back into the darkness.
It's only dusk, so it's not dark yet, but it will be in maybe an hour or so, less.
I'll pull them to a shrubbery and kill them.
Again, it's Tega.
Someone off and eat them. What's so wrong about that?
I just wanted to jump in, bite, and then pull them away.
All right. So as you peek over the bluff that you're hiding behind, you can indeed see one saber-toothed tiger on the lip of the mound, eating what was presumably, trying to kill what was presumably one of the scouts, or at least you hope so. Either that or it might be Dio. And then the other two have just drawn swords, and they're about to start wailing on it.
Okay, I can't see any other enemies nearby. It's just
you can't see any enemies. It's just those two. You can see on the opposite side of the mound, Arnulf and Revere. Oh, you would also have heard Arnulf's shout, which would be strange and unlike anything you've ever experienced before.
Okay. I'm assuming the mountain lion is probably looks more threatening than the guards.
It is a colossal saber-toothed tiger, so yes.
Let's sneak up on that and attack that instead. Can I make it there in one movement, or I have lots of movement?
How much movement do you have?
Speed's 13, but that gets tripled because I'm a quadruped.
Okay. You know what? In the interest of expediency, sure, why not? You're only hiding a little ways away. You've been working your way closer and closer.
Cool. And has no armor, therefore let's do some good old claw slashing. Just let me check.
I believe you can do this.
Cool.
So, what's your DOS?
5. I'm trained really well with this. Yeah, so it's just 20 to my strength. It's a 70. That's defeat at least one degree of success.
Cool. Well, surprise attack, because it's trying to kill this guy and is only really looking at the guy it's murdering and the two people who are about to attack it. So I'll take... Yeah, just roll your damage.
I'll get 2 attacks. Sorry, getting back into it.
That's alright. Like, you have been unquestionably the most on point for the combat rules here, Nicholas. The rest of us have no idea. You're here with... I think the rules are on this page. I don't know why
here
you're
with actual rule knowledge.
Yeah, well, exactly. Or at least page numbers.
Higher for resolving damage. Oh, yes, because I have my damage list, don't I? Yes. Okay, cool.
Dio continues to run around encampment like a headless chicken, screaming and shrieking.
What does slashing do? Where are weapons? Weapon qualities. Slashing. Weapons with tear flesh with ease, dealing extra damage equal to the wielder's strength bonus. Against unarmoured hit locations. I'm assuming it's not armoured.
Safe.
Ewan?
Sorry?
Is it armoured at all? I'm assuming it's not.
Big cat. Why would it be armoured?
Well, natural armour is actually a thing. But no,
Yes,
it's not
well-
armoured.
Okay, cool. So that's actually... do we add strength to attacks? Damage?
It seemed to say so just a second ago, didn't it?
Well, that's the slashing. Let's add the wielder's strength bonus. So I don't know if it's
Let's go
extra.
Yes, for the... well, actually, no, that's a good point. Like, where the
Yeah,
fucking
I don't want to do
rolls?
ridiculous amounts of damage.
Who are you and what have you done with my players? Because there must be a damage thing. Melee combats. Here we go. Don't give a shit about combat circumstances, just let me know how much damage is caused.
And we wonder why we never do combat encounters anymore.
I mean, to be fair, they do get faster the more you do of them, but only to a point. Yeah, I don't think you do. So it's just a bonus of slashing.
Cool, nice, okay, that's fine then. 7. That's a low roll.
Yeah, you leap in there and throw yourself snarling right at the Sabertooth. It screams back at you. I'll take an intimidate roll, please, Nicholas.
Just intimidate. I don't care.
Oh dear.
The cat sees the new threat and throws itself at you.
Okay, cool. And I'm going to use a stamina point to get another action point so I can attack it. Oh, okay. No, I need to attack once.
I also think you probably have to do that, declare that at the start of your turn, surely.
No, you can just spend stamina whenever you want.
Skeptical.
I think that's it. I've completely forgot what I can do in combat. Secondary aim, cast hide, ready weapon, drink potion.
Spending stamina points. So what is it? So... Oh, action points are a thing?
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? I'll end there.
Yeah, we're... Does anyone have any strong objections of us switching over to narrative rather than doing actual combat rolls and such?
Not at all.
Nope.
Otherwise, this is going to be the whole session. So, the cats are... the two big cats are rolling around on the ground next to the mound with the encampment on it. The larger of the two cats is Dowen Bar, but for all that Catclop is bigger, he is primarily a horse. And he has musculature, but isn't really designed for raw killing. The Sabertooth is scrappier, just a little bit smaller, but still pretty massive, and has much more vicious claws and teeth. Revere and Arnulf, you are confronted with the two remaining Imperials, the officer and one of the other scouts. They seem confused at what's happening with the Sabertooth Tigers from their point of view, killing each other. But also aware that there are two bandits at the edge. 3 bandits, one of whom is covered in poo, at the edge of their encampment. They hold their swords to you warily. In fact, the officer to you, the scout to the cats. Or do.
They've got up then.
They stood up when their colleague was getting eaten.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's true. Sorry, you shouted them down. So they're sort of pulling themselves to their feet, shakily, swords in hand, from where they drew them on the ground, desperately to try and fend off the saber-tooth, I guess. The officer still shaking. What are you? Ulfric?
Do I look like Ulfric bloody Stormcloak?
Yes, this is Ulfric Stormcloak. Bow before him.
The officer eyes you up. You sorry?
I'm not that bloody old.
She looks you up and down. Could have fooled me, but whatever. We don't have time for petty robbery. Let's get out of here before the cats kill us all.
Right, mate. We're gonna stay right here, and you're gonna answer some questions. Where's the cart?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Right, when we escaped Elgin, you lot ran off with our cart. We want it back.
Yeah.
There's several items on that cart that are precious to us.
Yeah.
Escaped Helgen? Ah, so you are Stormcloaks, says the officer, taking a step towards you.
Yeah.
No. Despite what my colleague might say, we are not Stormcloaks.
Not yet.
Shut up. This is not helping.
Friends of Ulfric, you'll get no quarter here, traitors.
Oh, balls to this. I'm just going to shout again.
I was going to say, while they're talking to him, can I sunbeam his friend? The Lone Ranger.
Yes, certainly. The scout who's not looking at you, so he's not going to see it coming, because he's got his sword shakily held to the cats, ready to fight the winner and probably die. You don't have to declare spell level, do you? Oh, I suppose you do, but it doesn't matter nearly as much. But spell level...
Yeah, mine just at 3. Right. It'll be at 3. Boom. That might be a pass. How does it work? Plus 20. It rolls off. In or willpower?
Willpower, I think.
Willpower. 62. No. I'm going to spend luck. Hey.
Nice. Okay. That is a success. What does... the fuck does it do?
It's a 30 meter long, 1 meter wide beam of sunlight. Does fire damage. And it's 1d8 plus willpower bonus damage.
Christ. Alright, give us a d10 for hit location. 3. Body. Yeah, no, as she's taking a step towards the 2 members of Team Nord, well, the 2 Nords at least, ready to die in the name of her emperor, the house cat that she'd seen wandering around their encampment a little while before takes a step out of one of the tents, looks over at her comrade, rears onto its hind legs, a couple of weird hand movements. She flicks her eyes to it for just a second, and then a beam of intense magical fire bursts out from between the cat's hands, straight into the back of her colleague. She turns around just in time to see him collapse to the ground with a cry, screaming and on fire. Ah! Only to be crushed as the dueling cats roll on top of him.
I'd like to announce, Zanzarim Zahir is missing his cart. The general rode with it, and I would like it back.
And the saber-toothed tiger freaks the fuck out and runs. Unless Catclop has any objections. As you are grappling it.
I shall let it leave.
Yeah, you. The fight was still a little bit uneven. You may have come out on top, you may not. But as you feel your lord's voice in your head, it immediately reacts with terrifying fear, urinating all over you and running.
After having a quick look through combat rules, they're not super complex, I'm just misunderstanding them. I put some stuff in Discord. It's basically 3 actions per round.
Cool. That is fun. I'm sure we can make it work. Yeah. I don't think I can be... it's way too hot for me to bother with combat rules right now.
That's fair enough.
Combat!
Sorry?
Narrative combat.
Narrative combat, indeed. Oh, although, hey, look, you did get your attack twice per turn thing.
Yes, I was sort of like, I'm pretty sure I can attack twice. I'm not sure where that was coming from. It's like, oh no, I can, so...
Somewhere, OG Dark Heresy members shiver in unknown delight. So, the single remaining Imperial, the officer, backs away from the house cat, her sword flicking between the two of you. Or between the two of you, between the two Nords and the cat. What are you?
Zanzarim Zahir demands you stay still and answer the questions of these Nords.
And what the cat said, mate.
Yeah.
Spits at her feet. Turncloaks and Deirdre consortus.
Right, what is it with you lot and calling me a fucking Stormcloak? He's the Stormcloak, I'd like to point to Revere. I'm neutral. I ain't for no one and nothing except money. And occasionally a good bit of beer.
I'm working on him.
Can I prowl up behind her and just kind of...
Yeah, she's just getting ready to deliver an actually fairly reasonable comeback of you're holding an Imperial officer up with a sword, Mr. Neutral, when there's a
hot, wet breath on the back of her neck, just like mouth ajar, ready to bite her head off.
She turns and backs away. Sees the cinch right next to her, and takes 2 steps backwards, sword held between her and the beast.
A disturbing grin.
I don't think she can recognise that.
Fair enough.
Like, not to say that your face doesn't emote, it absolutely does. Dio and Zanzarim would be able to see the grin, but she's not going to recognise the muscle movement.
That's fair enough, okay.
Dio sits down on the ground, hyperventilating in the corner. My Lord Caclop will end you, Imperial. That's a little hairball of stress.
What did he call me?
Sorry, what did he say?
He said Caclop.
My bad. My Lord Yuhnbric. Wait, so that's your acceptable criteria now. As long as Dio continues to call you Yuhnbric, it's just enough success and respect to... Never mind.
Technically, it's you admitting it, so it's fine. I guess for my turn, can I just roll Intimidate, basically, to try to just freeze her up? I just want to, like, petrify her.
Alright, I'll give you a plus 20 from the assists, presumably coming from Arnulf and Zanzarim.
Cool. Oh, that's got to be a success, yeah.
Sorry, I haven't had those off. What was the DOS there?
I rolled 26, and off of presence, which is the
Intimidate over personality, mate. But you rolled 29, not 26.
Yes. With a plus 20, no, that's success of 1.
Oh, I see. Your threshold was 26.
Yes. I think my personality is at 20.
Probably should have asked to roll that over a different characteristic.
Over strength or something, yeah, that'd make more sense.
Ah, well. Still a success, yeah. With a resigned hiss, she allows her sword to clatter to the ground. I am Officer Lorena Tullius of the Imperial Legion. I can give you my name and rank and nothing more.
Here, did you say Tullius?
Yes.
You wouldn't by any chance be related to one General Tullius, would you?
She reluctantly turns her back on the cat to face you.
I creep slightly closer while she's not looking.
Cat thing, like, closer. General Tullius is my esteemed uncle.
Well, you'll have to hold it for a second here. I'd like to turn to Revere. Now, I know what you want to do with her, but equally, possibly we just let her go?
What?
I mean, what better way to demonstrate to General Tullius, dickhead extraordinaire, that we have nothing to bloody do with the Stormcloaks than by letting his niece go?
But we don't want to demonstrate that we have nothing to do with Stormcloaks.
Alright, I'll rephrase that. What better way for me to show that I have nothing to do with the bloody Stormcloaks than by letting his niece... And I know what you want to do. You want to clap her in irons and haul her off the bloody Windhelm.
Zanzarim Zahir demands information regarding his cart.
Just snarl behind her.
Also, yeah, we could probably deal with that first.
Oh, her hands raise, indicating she's very much trying to be less threatening. What cart? You need to give me more specifics.
When was the last time you saw your uncle?
Several days ago, giving me orders. Wait, that cart? The one he was riding in? That's what this is about? It's just a cart.
It's not just a cart.
I've got to agree with him. It ain't just a cart. Let's be fair here. It is very much not just a cart.
Her eyebrows shoot up. I can't imagine how you can possibly have enchanted a cart to make it even slightly worthwhile. It just looked like some heap of junk.
It's not the cart itself, it's what's on the cart.
My uncle?
No. Right. There are several items on the cart that have incredibly high value to us, and we want them back.
Well, it's just a cart. It was carrying my uncle. He's not staying around Whiterun. It's presumably impounded at Castle Dower in Solitude.
Solitude? Ugh.
That's an indeterminate amount of miles away from here.
That is
Oh,
indeed
it's through Hjelmarch as well, those bastards.
a large but indeterminate amount of miles away from here.
Right. Whereas no way we're going to be able, us, as we are, get ourselves to Solitude and get our cart back on our own if it's been impounded. Unfortunately, at least for me, that probably means that we need to throw our lot in, and I cannot believe I am saying this, with the feckin' Stormcloaks.
Did somebody say siege?
Her eyes go wide in disbelief and confusion. It's just a cart. You can buy a new one.
It's not the cart, it's the stuff on it that did you not get.
What can possibly have been that valuable?
I can't buy a new flute.
Shovel.
You're doing this for a spade? That's cheaper than a cart.
And a flute.
Well, he's doing it for a flute. I'm doing this for a spade. I am doing this for my shovel. That is a very, 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 very nice shovel. It is very precious to me, and I'm having it back.
Her face locks up in confusion, alarm, and sorrow. She's still processing the deaths of her two men, the fact that she's about to be sold out to the Stormcloaks for a shovel and a flute, and, the Daedra cat.
Where's the nearest Stormcloak encampment?
She spits. You're gonna have to torture me if you want to get that.
Well, they'll do that.
Can my jaw just slowly, encompass, the top of her head?
Huh. Do what you must, Stormcloak.
Right,
I've already won.
Right, Catclop, stop it. That's not gonna work.
You named your pet saber-toothed Catclop?
No, that's just his name.
She turns to look at the cat.
She's looking down my throat.
Yeah. Wait, have you still got your mouth clamped around her face?
Around the top I'm behind her, around the back of her head, yes.
Yeah, alright, in that case, she's not turning because she's got a tiger's jaws clamped around her. She's just staying deathly still in paralysing fear.
Right. We probably won't get out of her ear. What we can do is we can head to Windhelm. She's General Tullius' niece. That's definitely going to fetch an hefty price with the Stormcloaks. But we can use that money to get to Solitude and bribe our way in to steal our cart back. Nice and simple.
She actually smirks a little at the mention of Windhelm, quickly overridden by the brain-shitting terror. Carry on.
I mean...
We still need to go and see the companions.
We could do that any time.
What if they don't let us in?
I thought you wanted to join I thought you wanted to join a slightly different organisation.
I can join both.
Yes,
Oh, you mean
Skyrim
you
is
can.
well known for its strangely free membership of many organizations. You can be part of just so many mutually almost exclusive groups with no real problems.
I mean, what happens if this whole Stormcloak thing doesn't work out?
Well,
I need to join some esteemed group of Skyrim.
So at that, Larinia Tullius pipes up just a little bit, just trying to overcome her fear of instant death. Perhaps the Imperial Legion help fight the Elven menace. Why she's growing more and more Nordic.
She's naturalizing. I said esteemed group.
Bristles a little bit.
We've met what the Imperial Legion calls its best and brightest, and quite frankly, we're not impressed.
Zanzarim Zahir would be willing to listen to a deal for the cart.
If you let me go, I'll talk to my uncle about the cart.
Zanzarim Zahir does not believe you.
Is not my grip, my bite tightens.
Alright, well, cats, if you stay with her, we'll go back and see the companions. What if we sleep on it?
Sleep on it, that's true.
She's,
Interesting conundrum, to be honest.
Are you just going to leave me in this cat's mouth?
I mean, no, I presume he'd let you go eventually. He's got to eat summit.
Yes.
Rather my concern.
No, we don't eat people. He's reasonably tame.
I mean, they might. They're
Zanzarim
savages.
Zahir has seen it. Eat a man.
You're not helping, Zanzarim, I've got to say.
Tightens a little bit more.
Yeah, she's starting to bleed into your mouth now. You're dooming us all to the Aldmeri Dominion, you fools.
Like, we weren't the ones... Skyrim weren't the ones who surrendered.
Her eyes narrow. It was Nordic troops who failed.
Me old mucker.
Most of that just cut out. I just got me old mucker.
I said, was it me old mucker? Right. News to us.
I mean, I think the Nordic legions actually came in and saved the day, but saved the day in this case just means fought to a draw, and a draw that was already basically a defeat. But was it the Battle for the Red Ring? Yeah, it was pretty devastating all round. Not that Nords are taking a particularly rational or fair view of it at the moment. Vague gesturing at Revere. Okay, so what are we doing then, gents? It sounds like you're leaving the encampment and the captive to the Khajiit, and the other two of you are going to walk back to Whiterun. You are about a day or so's travel, and you'd be doing it in the dark.
That's fine. I can see in the dark.
I can't, but he can, so
You can try and keep up.
it'll all work. I'm not that old.
I bet more blind than old.
Alright, well, I guess take a level of fatigue then, but otherwise, fair enough. So the two of you begin the trek back to Whiterun, hopefully having a rather easy time of it. Khajiit, what are you doing at the encampment? You've apparently got at least a day or so here. It's going to take them a day to walk back, and then they need to get their quest, and then coming back here.
Command old thumbs to thoroughly tie this person up and chuck him in a tent.
Use your trusty thumbs.
Alright. Let's see how... Oh, I suppose there's no point GM rolling it. Let's see how well Dio does at tying her up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
My lord, I am extremely confident in this knot. It is one of the greatest and best bows I have tied in my life.
I hit bow and I just whack him with a paw and just gesture to do it again.
He does the bow again, bigger this time.
Just sit on him, Doe. Or her.
I sit on both of them.
Covering yourself in poo in the process.
Alright.
I might have Dio wash himself before I sit on him.
I mean, he was really thoroughly... Like, Revere wasn't camouflaging him so much as spitefully covering him in shit. You've only really got the water which you carried with you, which I don't think is any, and the water that the scouts had.
Is there a river nearby?
Like, within a couple of hours, yes, but not right next to you. You're in the foothills of the mountains.
I'll just sit on her then.
You eye Dio up, and deciding that punishment can wait, sit on her instead. Whereupon she immediately begins to not quite die, but not super far away from it, as you were a half-ton cat.
I make sure to do it in a way I'm not going to kill her, but it might be uncomfortable.
It's super uncomfortable.
I'm going to strut around the camp with more detailed look in all the tents.
You're alright. I'll take Observer Perception at a plus 20. You've got time now.
6. I'm going to spend a lucky on that one.
Oh dear.
41. That's probably a succeed. Yeah, 1 degree.
Yeah. You almost brain yourself on a discarded arrow at one point, but it seems like a fairly standard camp. Were it not, the only real oddities about it are the sort of stone circle around it and the 2 corpses nearby that were formerly other scouts. The only thing you find which isn't pretty standard fare for what you might imagine to be some kind of reconnaissance outpost of some kind, is a satchel with a nest of scrolls inside. What do?
I'll try my best to drag the satchel to Thumbs, give up, and then meow at him to come.
My lord, of course, he says from across the encampment, sitting in his exile spot downwind. Dio rushes over to you, and Pooey hands a fly. He all but rips open the satchel and pulls out several of the scrolls inside. Opens one. It appears to be written in code, my lord. I cannot read the contents.
I do not care for these. Destroy them.
Yes, my lord. And then he looks at them, looks around for like a fire or something, and very reluctantly puts the first one in his mouth and starts trying to chew down, grimacing as he goes past the poo bits.
What a guy.
Thereafter is sorry.
Is there food around?
Yeah, there's a moderate amount of food. Say it's... Oh, what's the food page? Because they've got supplies, rations. Inventories.
We need...
Cool. So they have a week's worth of trail rations apiece between them. Which I assume you're having Dio after he's done eating the entire satchel's worth of coded messages. Box up and pack onto pack onto Catclop.
Yeah, but I'll demand he goes to the river and washes himself before he touches the food.
That will involve Dio being unsupervised in the dark for a number of hours in an area filled with saber-tooths. So he may not return.
Risk it for a biscuit.
Alright, it's a simple action. I'll give him a plus 20.
Can I point him?
You send Dio off, and he never actually returns. The night goes on. It's been about 4 hours now.
Did he just die?
Yes, you killed Dio.
Well, he's gone somewhere. It's entirely possible that as Dio's main skills are having thumbs and speaking Cyrodiilic, and I guess Nordic, apparently, he's just gotten lost or kidnapped, or indeed eaten. But yeah, Dio is gone somewhere.
And we can't tie this woman up because I'm sitting on her, so I can't go find it.
About time up, neither of you have thumbs.
I'm just pouring at a crate filled with rations.
loot everywhere and not a thumb to steal.
I could smash the crate.
But you have to sit on the prisoner.
Now I'm sure I can work this out somehow.
She wheezes and seems to go unconscious beneath you.
Is she wearing a cape of some kind? Do the Imperials wear capes?
She is not wearing a cape. She is wearing rather hardy leather armor with some sort of metallic.
No, cats off. Pick her up by the leather and drag her to Ration's room.
Okay. If she's just passed out, it looks like it. I'll slowly sit up, but making sure that my paw is always on her back, just in case she's faking it. And then just, engulf her torso with my jaw, pick her up, and then carry her over to Rations.
Don't trip.
Yeah.
You carry her over to the tent with the bag that had rations inside. There's some poo on the outside where Dio had been looking through it, but he hasn't touched the food inside yet. What do?
Did you say, is it open or is it locked?
It's not locked. It's a satchel, or sack, I guess, rather. It is currently cinched tightly closed, and for all his desperate attempts at nuzzling, your priest, Zanzarim Zahir, has been unable to get his tiny head inside. He's tried.
Just, flick up a claw and just, little insertion in the side of the bag.
I think it's a small insertion with a large claw like yours.
Well, small enough just to get food out. A good few inches, maybe, but...
You kind of stab in a little bit. Sorry, a few inches is a small insertion.
For my claw, yes.
Yeah, for a cat's that size, yes it is.
Yeah, that's kind of my point, I think. Cool, yeah, no, you slice open the outside of the bag and the modest amount of food begins to tip out. It's mostly hard biscuits and the trail rations.
Just start nibbling at them.
I'll place what's-her-face on the floor somewhere and resit on her in a way that I can get to rations as well.
Okay. What are you two's plans for the night?
Sit here, eat rations.
Sit here, eat rations, eventually go to sleep.
Yeah.
Actually, the people with thumbs will return.
Please, God, we need thumbs.
I think you're underestimating quite how much you needed Dio, because he was also your translation.
That's fine.
And Zanzarim, let's be fair.
Yeah, but Zanzarim's not stealthy.
Nope, he'll just yell at everyone.
It's fine.
Okay, so the two of you settle down. Catclop's still atop the prisoner, and he is officially Catclop now that he's lost the one person who called him Dolan Bar.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sad too. You settle down for what you hope to be a restful sleep. Okay, Arnulf and Revere. Bleary-eyed, you make the Whiterun city gates by morning. The guards give you a little bit of sass seeing you, commenting on your haggard appearance as you've not slept all night, or indeed since yesterday morning, really. But give you no trouble as they let you in, beyond a couple of perfunctory comments about, don't go decking the court wizard again. What do? Where go?
Stumble on towards the companions, I guess.
It's the important bit.
Okay.
We're still covered in mud and, like, shit and leaves and things, aren't we?
You are indeed. And as you get to the entrance to the Cloud District, what do? The
Well,
guards
first find
size you up.
I think find some place to wash ourselves off.
Do we still have a free token pass at the inn?
You do indeed, though you rather rudely didn't turn up for the meal she said she'd cook for you.
Ah, well, yeah, I know. I mean, we could still go back and apologise.
Hammer on the door of the inn at dawn. A slightly bleary-eyed... Oh, sorry, did you say you were going back, or you could go back?
I mean, I'd like to go back.
Sure.
Seems like the most sensible option.
And, a slightly bleary-eyed elderly woman, whose name escapes me, and her head leans back and she starts vomiting blood as she tries to remember her name.
Jesus Christ.
It's okay. It just works. It just works. Her name is... Hulda. Yes. The elderly woman, Hulda, who is no longer vomiting blood as she tries to remember her own name, stares back at you, bleary-eyed. Here. You two look like you've been to hell and back. What's happened there?
We don't want to talk about it.
It's all just
Well,
a rough night.
I guess that's fair. I know why you missed dinner now. I'm afraid I gave it to the dog.
Right.
Well out back, still working, if you want to wash up.
Oi, that would be grand of you.
That'd be lovely.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Alright. And she lets you in. You proceed through the inn, getting mud and sticks everywhere, out to the back to the newly recreated well, which I guess, as Yuhnbric is currently schlorped, isn't an engineering marvel, but is just very thoroughly brute-forced, is how I assume Arnulf and Revere would have solved that.
Pretty much, yeah.
You've somehow punched the water into submission.
True Nordic well for true Nords.
Ah, yes. As I try and grab mud from out of my massive fur.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a while to clean up here. I'll take endurance tests from the both of you, please.
Just flat endurance, or
Just flat endurance.
Oh, 1 degree failure.
I'll spend a luck point. 1 degree of failure.
Yeah, no, you get most of the mud and twigs out, but not all. And at this stage, you both just look terrible, like you've been dragged through a muddy hedge backwards. It is at least significantly cleaner than you were on the way over, but or on the way back rather. But yeah, you're not in great shape. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, the guards at the Cloud District, at any rate, are unlikely to look favourably on you, and as the two of you stare at each other, covered in well water, mud, and the remnants of twigs too small to pick out of Revere's fur, or Arnulf's, I assume, too majestic beard, this is self-evident to you. What do?
And we could send a message to the Cloud District?
Could we bribe them?
With what money?
I mean, same for the message, actually. A courier would be allowed into the Cloud District, and Skyrim has strangely effective and persistent couriers. Bribe might also work, but yeah, if that's the case, then you would need cash either way.
We've got no money, so, might be a bit hard.
We've got some money. I've got 142. We give them a good, I don't know, 20?
We can always ask.
How much for a bribe?
I thought you meant I suppose, yeah.
I'll
follow your lead on this one.
I think that might actually be criminal, asking how much. So is bribing them, but that's Plus, they're obviously going to highball it. So you're probably looking at an opposed commerce roll there if you want to haggle it down, but they're also likely to ask for a bit more. Let's see, how much is a thing of wine? So a common pitcher of wine is 2. So I would imagine the bidding rates are probably going to start between 40 and 50G, and they'll likely want to haggle that up higher, and you'll want to haggle it down lower. That's probably a piece as well.
What if we sneak in?
Yeah, there was only the one entrance to the Cloud District, but there is a wall that runs in between it and the... God, what are the lower reaches called?
I don't know. Like they're not likely to look favourably on it, but we are allowed in, so we might just have to pay them a small means to just let us pass.
I guess.
I don't know if it's just. I don't know if that's bribery or it's just like, look, we know.
We know.
Yeah, I actually don't know if you are allowed in, because if you'll remember, the reason you were allowed in the Cloud District initially is as a contact of Ferengar's Secret Fire, the Court Mage. That is unlikely to stand now.
I've got a grappling hook.
I could just claim we're going to apologise to Ferengar's Secret Fire.
Yeah, that'll work.
Or we could say that we're going to see the companions.
I mean, that's also true.
So I guess
there's no harm in asking.
In either case, it's probably a charm roll, or you can try and scale the wall a ways down.
Always ask first, and then we'll try and scale the wall if they say no.
Exactly.
Okay. So the two of you, bedraggled, sleep-deprived, reeking, head on over to the Cloud District, and as you approach, the guards seem to stand to a sharper attention, hold their spears out, at not quite like blocking it with an X, the gateway's a bit too wide for that, but a firm, hostile, but not too hostile, at least standoffish body language. One of them flags you as you approach. Stop right there. I'm afraid the two of you are no longer welcome in the Cloud District.
We do, in fact, have a meeting with the companions. We do need to go to that.
Yeah, that's the oldest trick in the book, my friend.
You can ask them yourself.
Not sure I believe that, I'm afraid.
There ain't no harm in trying.
I'll take a persuade at a +10 from one of you.
I'm doing that at 43. You?
All right, 41. You go.
I will spend a luck point. Two left.
$2.
Boom! There you go.
Hey.
The guard sizes you up. Alright, it'll have to wait until shift change so we can send someone up. I don't want to head up and then you bum rush my friend. Q.
I mean, look at us. Do we look like we could bum rush your friend in this state? I need a good sleep.
I mean, ordinarily I'd say no, but you did bum rush the court mage yesterday.
That's very true. We did. He did.
Wait.
Also, we are companions, or close to it. He's got a point.
Look.
We're pretty fierce.
All you need to do is just ask anybody to go and quickly ask the companions if they're due to see us today. You don't need to send yourselves, you just need to send someone you trust.
Alright, we'll see if someone's... And at that point, a local citizen walks past. He stops to stare at the two of you. Oh, I don't suppose you get to the Cloud District often, do you? Here, Mr. Nazir... You don't suppose there's any chance? He walks up to the guard, puts a hand on his shoulder. And I don't suppose you get further into the Cloud District, do you? Well, I don't, Mr. Nazir. I'm a guard. Yes, you'd all really appreciate the Cloud District if you could enter it. But, alas, I don't suppose you go to the Cloud District very often. Mr. Nazir! Would you mind awfully stopping off at the companions and asking them to send down a runner? There are 2 people here who say they were expecting them. Yes, all right. The companions do get to the Cloud District rather often. And he meanders off up the hill. The guards share a look with each other. The one who hasn't spoken yet just quietly makes the wanker gesture with his hand. What were you say, Benji?
I was about to say, turn to the guard and say, I suppose that he's a popular gentleman there.
You have no fucking idea. Every day. You know, the worst bit about it is, I don't actually know if he's even allowed in the Cloud District. He just spends so much time wandering back and forth, showboating about it. I don't know what he does.
I feel like I want to go to the Cloud District less often.
I think we can be sure that he talks about how much he's allowed in the Cloud District.
Yeah, but he's not actually on any of the lists or anything. He's just been coming and going so often that at this point there's no stopping him.
Right.
I worry he'd have a breakdown.
I mean, on that case, if you're not sure he's allowed in and he goes in all the time, can't we just go in?
No, there's a difference. We're not sure with him, and he's a local simpleton.
Right, okay.
Like, I get what you're saying with benefit of the doubt, and I would be inclined to show it, but we did let you in yesterday and you punched someone.
He's got a point.
I mean, we are at Nords.
Oh yeah, you do have a point there, I'll give you that one. But you shouldn't have punched him like that, or... No, you just shouldn't have punched him. I know it's tempting. I want to punch you right now, if I'm being honest. The guard looks over it. Yeah, no, I kind of want to punch you as well. But note that we're being restrained.
Well, always good to meet a professional. You been a Helgen recently?
The guard stares at you from beneath his helmet. You know, funnily enough, I was rotated out of Helgen just a week or two ago. Oh, lovely town.
It was.
My wife's just finishing up some of the affairs there, but she's supposed to be following along soon. It's been a while. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason.
You've not looked south at any point recently? I know that this is, as I've been told, a north-facing hold.
He seems to take on a slightly abrasive stance. I'm afraid this is a north-facing hold. We don't look south like no weaklings. South is the worst direction. Everyone knows this.
Nope, you're absolutely right. Carry on. Don't look south.
That's how they get you.
I'm sure your wife will be following along any day.
No, me too. Funny you should agree so strangely conspicuously.
Just my manner. I'm from Dornstar, I am.
That's a good northerly direction. Why can't you look north?
Because looking north is just looking across the sea of ghosts, and you get bored of mist and ghosts.
I don't know nothing about no sea. I've seen the Pale, and if I'm honest, it's mostly mountains, and I should know. I look north a lot. And so the conversation, riveting as it is, goes on for quite some time, discussing the relative mections. That's not a word. Relative somethings. It's far too hot.
Orientation.
Merits. There we go. The relative merits of North versus South. Not culturally, just objectively, somehow. When a familiar non-face comes down the road, wearing a mask.
Oh, my boy.
Says Athos as he saunters up to the two guards. They stare back at him. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
So, did either of you get a word of that?
The guards. Alright, thumbs up or thumbs down? Are they supposed to? He very sarcastically holds out a thumb, quietly tips it up. The guards, confused but accepting, thumbs up, I guess, stand aside and allow you to pass.
I'm going to miss Whiterun. Its colourful cast of characters.
We still haven't met that priest that everyone's going on about.
It's very true.
Fuck.
He must be having an off day.
To be fair, it is dusk. He's at home at dusk. It is dawn. He's at home at the moment. Yeah.
Preparing a hearty breakfast.
Writhing in the flour.
What up, nerds?
Oh my god, it's Ollie.
Oh god.
Oh my god, he made it.
Did you sneak on just in time for XP? You.
Yeah, I think I may have actually.
Alright, well, Yuhnbric, congratulations. You're covered in mud and twigs and you're heading into the Cloud District. You can listen to the recording to catch up beyond that. Oh dear. So you're walking up the hill, and Athis is walking ahead of you. His mask still firmly on.
Yeah, I agree. Looks to Arnulf, shrugs.
Turns, hands on hips.
I just look back at Revere and shrug as well.
He sounds aroused.
Sounds like a hive of bees in his bloody gut.
The real term is...
And they're trying to escape up through his throat.
What? Not Lassie? The Dragonborn has lost down a well?
I really hope he's not giving us the quest.
It's something about having something on you. I don't know. It's hard to make out.
It's, he looks especially betrayed at the now sloped in Yuhnbric's not understanding what he says. But, you know, obviously, despite Yuhnbric's clearly being a Dunmer, he speaks with an Outlander accent, so no true son of Morrowind he.
Whoa, Skyrim is full of Nords, you nerd.
Type broke, isn't it?
Athis steps back. Athis rears, taken aback. And then he starts trooping up the hill, evidently annoyed with, especially Yuhnbric, apparently.
Have I just come in the last 5 minutes to wreck the storyline?
No, you're fine. You've done significantly less. Dio is MIA, maybe dead. So, it's a whole thing.
He's fine. He's having a long wash in the river.
That's what they call it when the mafia drowns someone.
It's not what.
I think they call it sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm aware. I just wanted to make a point that is what happens when you fuck with someone and they kill you and they put you in a river. It sounds like a line.
The accuracy of your point, and also, I think you'll find that the mafia in this setting is the Kimono Tom. Thank you very much.
Whoa! Can you
Actually.
stop being such a big nerd for 1 second?
Where do you think you are?
Yeah. The fuck are you doing here, Outlander? Okay, so you troop up to the companions, to the mead hall of Jorvasker, and find Ayla standing, waiting for the two of you. 3 of you now, in fact, in full battle gear. And, goddamn, Nordic Ayla. Alright, here we go. And where, oh my god, where have you been?
Long story.
Athis pipes up as he walks past her. Alright, you know what? It is extremely difficult to understand you, Athis. You have got to understand this. I know what you're talking about, but most people really don't. He just leaves. Alright, and you've brought a friend as well. I'm sorry, he's got to pass the trial, same as anyone else, if he wants to join.
I don't think he does.
Put your
Yuhnbric,
fists up, Yuhnbric.
you want to join the companions?
Yuhnbric takes a look around, blinking a little bit. I turn back towards Arnulf, and I'm like, I whisper, do they have good engineers?
Remember, you only know the companions from their contextual genocide. It's like the only thing you're aware of about them.
Then no, I do not want to join them.
But they have
Also, they're the nerds that would beat me up. So no.
Well, actually, worse than beat you up, they have a rabid and abiding hatred of elves. Most of their history consists of furiously wrecking elves in a very, very not okay manner.
Okay, then, in which case my answer is, no. No, I do not. You can have the trials and the tribulations. I'm fine with that either.
Ella gestures. Your loss. Alright, so, a bit early in the day, but I was up regardless, and I did say I would have a quest for you. Her eyes roll over white, and she begins vomiting green sludge as she attempts to remember exactly what the quest was.
That sounds troublesome.
Cool, okay. Her eyes return to normal, and she ceases vomiting green sludge. We have recently received rumours of a huge bear attacking Rorikstead. They'd like you to investigate, and if they prove true, locate and kill the bear. Return to me with its head, or at least its pelt, and you're in.
That sounds pretty doable.
How big is the bear?
Well, we don't know, but enough that it's terrorizing the entire town, so presumably colossal.
I turn to the party. I don't like the sound of the word colossal. I prefer ginormous, or small and rabbit-like.
I mean, it's a bear, you know. They tend not to come in mini.
If only they did, Skyrim would be a lot safer.
Of course, I should warn you that you're not the only person who will be setting out on this, so you have a few days to investigate. Call it a week or two to get to Rorikstead and back. But sooner or later, we'll be sending out someone else to investigate as well. If you don't solve the quest by then, hopefully they will.
Sounds like a challenge.
She sort of ums and ahs. Aye, it is and it isn't. Unfortunately, the survival rate on these things isn't particularly high, so we give you a couple of days head start, and then we send out someone more qualified just in case the worst happens.
Well, alright then. I guess on that cheery note, we'll get started.
I mean, it's just a bear. We should be fine.
She nods. Should be. Right, is there anything else you need from me?
Oh, but I did have a question. Do you know whereby if there's been any rumours of Stormcloaks in the area?
Her eyes narrow. We're a neutral hold, and the Companions is a neutral organisation.
I know I'm not looking to join, but I've heard tell of Imperials in the near vicinity, and I don't want to get caught up in no interscene violence like we did down south. I just wanted to know if you'd heard anything that we might avoid areas with unpleasantness brewing.
Sorry, young Nicholas, can you stop breathing into your mic, please?
Yeah, try.
Thank you. Ella seems to stiffen up. My advice is to avoid talking about it entirely. Just leave the matter be. People will engage in their bloodshed regardless. She seems to actually stiffen up almost suspiciously. She's carrying herself very poorly.
Love, I'm not interested in getting involved in any of that stuff. I just want to stay away from it, which is why I asked. That's all I'm asking. But if you're sure, I'll stop asking.
Yeah, she gives you a strange look and marches back off inside the mead hall of Jorvisker. Alright. Team Nord, what do?
Well, I think what we should do is ask around the place and see if we can find any idea where the Stormcloaks might be locally. Because then we can unload Tullius off on them and head off to Rorikstead.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Aye.
We could start with that NAZEEM guy.
Do you think he's a Stormcloak? Or a Stormcloak sympathiser? I thought he was just a simpleton.
I think he's the only one we know so far. Or
Close enough.
I guess we could find a shop.
Close
We'll
enough.
start with it.
Okay.
You see Nazir actually sitting not too far away, and he waves you down rather cheerily as you approach. Ah, first time in the Cloud District. I don't suppose you all get here very often, do you?
Say we do, no?
Well, I do. He just kind of smiles sick-burnly.
As we can see.
What do?
I was wondering, as someone who has clearly got his finger on the pulse, as it were, if you knew about anything to do with them there Stormcloaks that might be hanging around the place.
Yeah.
Any whispers that there might be camps nearby? We want to avoid such internecine bloodshed ourselves, you understand?
Nazir smiles. I ran into one. Some days ago, yes. No, he was wounded. Ran straight into town. I asked him if he'd been to the Cloud District recently. I don't remember what he said. Don't much care. I'm sure he hadn't, though.
Did you...
I see.
Sorry, Callum?
Did you see where he went at all?
No, just rushed off in some poor person direction. Somewhere in the Plains District. They don't get to the Cloud District very often, you know.
Nazir, do you ever get out of the Cloud District very often?
Yes, that's where I met that Stormcloak. I marched down to the Plains District. I check in with the locals, see exactly who's been to the Cloud District and who hasn't. Smiles to himself quite happily. Not many have, you know. Not often.
Right. I see. Well, here's your information. Is there anyone else you might have seen in the Cloud District who might have sympathies with the Stormcloaks?
He nods. Ah, yes, the Battlemanes, of course. They're quite vocal about it. Of course, they've lived in the Cloud District for many centuries. His eyes take on an almost envious glint.
I see. And where would we be finding these Battlemanes, did you say?
God, I think I'm mixing them up, actually. Hold a second. Greymanes. Sorry, Greymanes.
These Greymanes, where would we be finding them?
The mansion's just down the ways a little bit on the left. If you follow the little path down, it's over there. Now, you will likely need an appointment to see them, of course. They're one of the Cloud District's oldest families, and this is a very important district.
Of course. We'll get right on that. Well, thank you, Nazir. You've been most kind and most informative. Seeing you round.
He gives you a cheery wave. Oh, I doubt it. I don't expect I'll see you in the Cloud District very often.
Probably not.
Probably not.
All right, and that is a very good place to pause for the week, I think. So, God, just looking at my notes, so much shit that I never get through each session. God damn it. Any reminders for next week? Anything anyone wants noted down?
We're going Rorikstead.
Yeah, our companion's quest is to kill a bear at Rorikstead. A giant bear.
Okay. Anything else?
Cat Gang is attending the kidnaps Tullius niece.
It's holding kidnapped Larina Tullius captive with no hands. Oh well, no hands, no fingers. Anything else?
Do we want to move the cart last known location marker over to Solitude?
That is a very good point. Thank you, Nicholas. I will do that now. You've been really on the ball this week.
Cart's been located.
I'm really sorry. This session in particular, I'm just fucking asleep. I'm really sorry.
No, I just said
asleep
you've been really
more.
on the ball.
Be asleep more, young Nicholas.
That was the most young Nick comment I've ever heard about being on the ball. I think I've ever heard.
No, like,
you're so on the ball, you're off the ball.
cool. Any other reminders for next week? No, I mean, I think it's probably worth putting down your. What?
We have a week's worth of rations.
Food.
Well, I mean, you ate a bunch of them and you spilled the rest on the ground.
Just because of the name doesn't mean they're not any good?
No, it doesn't mean they're not any good, but like you have no easy way of transporting them at the moment.
No, but for now, what's in front of us, we can have a week's worth. And we might get some thumbs next week, which means that they be picked up.
Remember, Carl would slot back into whatever's happened to Dio. So...
God.
This doesn't go that far one-to-one. Is he just going to be lost in the woods somewhere?
Well, it wouldn't
lost
usually...
in the woods or in the belly of a fucking saber-tooth.
We can't just kill him, to be fair, so he wouldn't die, regardless. But usually it wouldn't matter that much. But I
care about finding him in the forest. I don't care at all about finding him.
Probably to save.
It is no, it's not a video game. It is kind of plot critical, remember, though, that... what's it called?
Just the thumbs for our cats?
Well, that's just useful. But no, your captive status is plot critical, and at the moment the difficulties you're having with the captive are due to you not having access to thumbs. So I'll speak to Carl, and if we've got him back next week, then I'll work something out with him.
That's right. We can always just have old Catclop sit on the prisoner, and I can run around in the woods shouting.
Oh yes, old Catclop, where he's sitting on the prisoner with his being a half a ton cat.
Yeah.
It was more than a week's worth of rations, actually. It was because it was a week's worth per person for 3 people.
Yeah, but how does that correspond to also a cat? And a very big one.
The large cat and the small cat throw things off. We've just been averaging them out to a person, which doesn't actually... I suppose it does make the amount of sense. Alright, so there are 21 portions of loose trail rations. Loose trail rations in front at the suspect's encampment. Yes, what I was going to say earlier was I think it's probably worth noting down that Team Nord is investigating Stormcloaks in Whiterun.
Yes, probably good.
I'm a bit confused as to why it felt like it
because we want to offload the prisoner so we can go to Rorikstead. We're not going to drag her to Rorikstead just so we can drag her all the way back.
Makes an amount of sense. Assuming Catclop hasn't eaten her by the time you get back. Which he
knows not to.
Does he? He seemed really close to doing it. Any other reminders?
Yeah, but he has Zanzarim to inform him not to.
Well, let's hope Zanzarim doesn't have to go wandering around in the woods looking for Dio or something. Any other reminders for next week?
I think so.
No? Cool. Okay. In that case, feedback. Anything you like, anything you dislike, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
More Zanzarim demanding information because it's hilarious.
Oh my god, yeah, Zanzarim in an area where he can freely talk and just freak out all the local wildlife and Imperial officers.
More of the...
Sorry,
what was it?
Said I just want my cart back.
Oh yeah.
You're getting there. You got a plan.
Just more of the Whiterun side characters, I guess. The Whiterun crew.
The interchangeable guards, which I guess is quite true to form, and vaguely interchangeable personalities.
Even if I did forget who the guy was that I broke his face.
Farengar's Secret Fire. I did very much enjoy...
No, the Dark Elf.
Oh, the Dark Elf. Oh, yeah, Athos.
Oh, Athis.
Skyrim's most generic character.
My bay. Not
Not
anymore.
Oh dear. It's fine. What are the chances of him ever cropping up anywhere else? Cool. Good to hear. Any other feedback? Nope. In that case, sounds good. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unsure of in that session?
Sure, we covered everything.
Yeah, you all seem to be following the plot. You're forming long-term action plans as well. Yeah, all good there. I weep as I look at some of my plot notes for things I wanted to do but didn't quite get round to, but in retrospect, I shouldn't have half-heartedly started semi-structured combat. That was an mistake. Cool. Don't you crash at me, Notepad++.
How many tabs have you got open on it currently?
Notepad++. I don't know, 100 at any one time.
Yep, that's about right.
Well, I do a lot of text editing in it.
You know what's a surprise? That's the primary function of the program.
Yes. Correctly identified, Ollie. One programmer point for you. Not that I'm a programmer. Go away, bike.
That sounds like no bike either, quite heard.
It's fine, I'll cut this bit. Cool, so XP. Do y'all feel like you made any plot progression this session?
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, yeah.
We found Tullius' niece.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kidnapped someone and we heard the most likely location of where our car is.
True, yeah.
If that's not plot progress, I don't know what is.
This is true. Cool. And next up, character development. Does anyone feel they developed their character this session?
I got to almost eat someone.
That's not character development.
Well,
Same line.
Nick, just to remind you, if you eat someone's thumbs, that doesn't mean you gain their thumbs.
Eat their thumbs to gain their power. Your necklace is the only way.
Operating under Jeepers Creepers rules.
Things,
it would be valid if you were trying to go down this strange cannibalistic Namira path, but you didn't really get close to eating her. You were just doing it for intimidation, and that hasn't been a source of rising tension for your character yet.
I feel like Zanzarim got to flex his theatrics a little.
I think that's probably more roleplay than character development, though.
True.
Fair. So nothing on the character development front this week. Moving on to relevant now. Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well this session?
I feel like Zanzarim got to flex his theatricals a little.
Yes, this week, in fact. Zanzarim flexes his theatricals. Anyone else?
I do like the consistency of Revere's Nordicness just in general throughout.
He is a proud Nord of Skyrim, and you will respect that fact.
Theo called it bro, so he just covered him in shit.
I like that we now have multiple references to those two Nords over there, and no one's even commented on it.
Why would they? You're clearly a Nord.
Exactly.
Integrating. I say integrating like you weren't born here. Oh, dear God. In so many settings, this would be such horrible terminology. God damn. Race and Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Yeah?
No.
No. Trying to think of someone who you think roleplayed well this week.
So say Benji's Thum, but that's just him using Thum.
That's just me using wizard magic. That isn't wizard magic.
We can give... I'm not going to give points for it, but honourable mention to Benji finally getting a chance to use the Thum, and it made contextual sense and wasn't just him, anger solving his problems with shouting. Also, everyone going, how effective can just Fuss probably be? And then it blows down 3 fully armed soldiers.
Like, oh, holy shit, it's actually really...
Fuck. Turns out dragons be powerful, yo.
Who would have guessed?
Do I need the other words? No, not really, apparently, no.
Not me and Callum, who are apparently the lorists, law peoples.
Sort of a lord.
There we go. Cool. So I make that to be 140 experience points for session number 6. That's 20 points for plot progression, kidnapping Tullius' niece, and finding the likely location of the cart. 0 points for character development this week. Plus 20 points for excellence of role-playing. That's Zanzarim flexing his theatricals and Revere's consistently aggressive, bigoted Nordicness. Plus your standard 100 general.
So 126, yeah?
No, 140.
40, sorry.
I think you've combined the 100 with one of the 2 individual 20s, and then session number 6 for some reason.
I'm really sleeping on Murray, sorry.
No, that's fair. You did say no. You're all right, yeah, Nicholas. Like it's really hot and everyone's really tired. Oh Christ! Cool. Which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights. Well, I think obviously Ollie has earned his spot as the head of the highlights. Ollie, do you have any highlights for that session?
I really liked how proactively I was asked to join the companions, and how I instantly knew that I should not.
Racist organisation. They're fairly liberal with how unracist they've been to all the elves that are involved with them.
They're actually not that racist nowadays, but their history is one of blood and slaughter.
I suppose, were the companions around when I was,
Yes.
Yes.
And
that's
where their
doing the
reputation...
blood and slaughter, yeah.
But yeah, I'm
When they were
pretty.
at their worst.
I would say I would go so far as to be like, actually, probably would I run screaming from them, or would I be like, "Fuck these guys"?
He pointed at you is the thing.
I mean, the only reason that you might not run screaming is because that would draw suspicion. But like, the phrase Skyrim. The phrase Skyrim is for the Nords.
Yes, I've said it several times.
Exactly right. So Skyrim used to be for the elves.
I see.
Reason that those elves are no longer around it, I mean, it's partially your people's fault. You forced the survivors into slavery and they became weird, feral, and blind. But before that, they had a whole flourishing civilization throughout both Skyrim and the little island of Solstheim off to the northeast. And it was the Nords, led by the Companions, over multiple generations, who repeatedly massacred them and pushed them back and basically wiped their race out almost entirely.
Why were they called the companions?
They're the companions of this one lad.
So it's basically like we're the racist mates of this one racist.
Yeah, it's the big mob of rowdy lads who were the colonialists, the colonialistness phrase, the most colonial of all the Nordic colonialists. Colonists.
Damn colonials coming over here, ruin all the other colonials.
I mean, that is kind of what the Nords did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's basically my highlights done. I think, my other one would be Nick attempting to eat thumbs to gain the power of...
That didn't happen. Okay. Next up, Callum, do you have any highlights for that session?
I think it would be the realization that the cats have no thumbs with which to loot the camp.
That was fucking beautiful.
Looting requires thumbs.
Cats have no thumbs with which to loot the treasure. The cats have no thumbs with which to loot the treasure surrounding them. Cool. Anything else?
All ghillied up.
Gets all. I can't spell. Ghillied up. Anything else?
I don't even know what to say. Like, just NAZEEM. Just one word, NAZEEM.
Wait, have I been saying Nazir or NAZEEM? Because they're radically different characters.
I think it's NAZEEM.
Oh, whoops. Well, Dark Brotherhood questline just got a lot more interesting.
Why does he keep talking about the Cloud District?
Who is this man? How did he get in here? So, have you been to the cities district? NAZEEM, sorry. Okay, so let's put NAZEEM in all caps. I tried so hard to remember to get it right, NAZEEM, and say it's Nazir, it's Nazir, it's Nazir, and then I think you are correct that it's NAZEEM. Fuck my life. Anything else?
Oh, just the continuing Nords don't look south.
Good times. Oh, that doesn't come up in the Civil War. I'm going to be so sad.
Oh.
How were the Nords defeated by the Imperial Legion? Well, you see, they all just constantly look north.
Yeah, they refuse to...
They've all got this weird thing when one of them can't look in a principal direction. Morthal people can't look east for some reason. Fuck knows why.
Wait, why would Morthal not be able to look east?
They don't want to.
It's just everywhere relative to Helgen, I guess.
Does Hjalmarch and the Pale don't hate each other, do they?
No, I don't think it ever really comes up.
You know what? Fuck it. If you want that to be your big rivalry, Benji, that people from the Pale hate people from Hjalmarch, and people from Hjalmarch hate people from the Pale.
People from the Pale hate people from the Pale.
People from the Pale hate Hjalmarch, but we hate Haffinger more. Fucking Haffingers.
I cannot... Well, I mean, everyone hates Haffinger. Posh boys. I cannot believe that the Pale doesn't have a north-south divide with its weird U shape. But then almost everywhere has a north-south. Cool. Sorry, so Nords don't look south. Anything else?
No, that's it from me.
Okay. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, I had one that they were talking to the guards, to the Interguard Crimes and Fines Unit.
God damn it. Interguard Crimes and Fines Unit. It's part of the federal Skyrim guard contingent that doesn't exist because they're not a federation. I suppose they are a federation, actually. Oh my god. Cool, anything else?
Yeah, just the party kidnaps Tullius' niece.
Kidnaps Tullius' niece. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Cool, young Nicholas, do you have any highlights for that session?
I know I'm saying it wrong, but a respected organisation. When looking to join like a respected organisation, the Stormcloaks. So it's like, well, what about the Legionnaires? Like, no, a respected one.
Okay, how do we get that into a sentence?
I know it wasn't respected; it was something else, wasn't it? It was
Oh, it was the fuck. What was it? Esteemed.
Esteemed. Yes. No, I put it down as a no. An esteemed.
Why not join the Legion? Fuck the Legion.
No. Esteemed. One sec. No, an esteemed organisation. I'm sure that's not the exact quote, but...
Close enough.
And no thumbs, no problem. Just sit on them.
No thumbs, no problem. I mean, I disagree with no thumbs, no problem on such a fundamental level, but anything else?
I need to disappear, guys, so I'll catch you later, okay?
Bye, Ollie.
Bye.
Cool. You don't have to do anything more if you're.
I think that's it.
Yeah, fair. Benji, any highlights for that session?
Revere goes full Stormcloak.
Revere has been desperately trying to go full Stormcloak for a while now.
Yeah, but he is going full Stormcloak.
He does keep, like, what's the phrase? Is it sandbagging? Like, you repeatedly insist to people that you're neutral, and Revere goes, no, we're not. Like, every
No.
time.
You're a work in progress, Ben.
It certainly helps that you keep saying we're neutral whilst, like, assaulting Imperial officials.
With the Civil War, though, that's because fuck those guys, they stole my shovel.
Civil War hasn't actually started yet, technically. It's still in the opening stages.
That's not to do with interscene conflict that may not be incipient.
Oh, it's
they stole me shovel.
It's super incipient. It just hasn't reached the point of open conflict yet. Cool. Anything else?
Revere weaponizes wildlife. Well, technically speaking, is it Dio weaponizing the wildlife?
I think it's Dio weaponizing the wildlife. He's a very resourceful lad.
I mean, Dio didn't weaponize the wildlife. The wildlife was just trying to kill him.
Yeah, but it bounded in and killed a guard.
They're legionnaires, and you weren't trying to kill those guys. I thought it would be a failure, but oh dear. Anything else?
Ben?
No, I can't think of anything else.
Right, okay, now I think I definitely had a couple, but let me see if I can remember them. Fuck, my brain's immediately gone blank. No, I don't remember them at all. Bugger, why don't I write these things down as I'm GMing? Because I can't multitask is the answer. Nah, I got nothing. Fuck it. Cool. Anyone got any final words for the recording?
Nope. Fuck all, y'all.